Hello and welcome to another AIC Productions video. Today I wanted to do a quick review on this Real Leather Crafts point blank holster kit. So I bought this, you can actually see right here on the screen, I bought it on July 3rd. Today is July 20th and I literally just finished a few minutes ago. And when I say finished, I'm almost finished with my holster. There's a couple things left I need to do on it. But we'll talk about that here in a second. So I bought this because I recently bought a 1911 style gun. It's a mine is a Rock Island Armory gun, and I really like the gun, but I wanted a way to carry it. I wanted a leather holster specifically because that's just what I wanted. But I kind of thought I've done leather work in the past, and so I thought I'd take the opportunity to do my own thing and make the holster myself. And I came across this kit and thought it was perfect. In the picture of the description, it shows a 1911 style here on the left with a 5-inch barrel, and so that is what really convinced me to do it. So here is my finished product. This is the final product here, and I really like how it turned out. So the last time I did any kind of real leather work was when I was in Boy Scouts some 20 years ago now, and so I'm really happy with the pattern, how it turned out. I also have fairly severe dysgraphia, which affects my fine motor skills, so something like this for me personally is actually quite difficult to do. I'm very happy with the turnout. It's not perfect, but it is satisfactory for me. The strap is a different pattern on there. I'll admit the strap was an afterthought because I'd actually went to start to dye it and then realized I'd forgotten to pattern the strap and the belt loop holder. So I spent several hours doing this with breaks, and then went to do the dye, and it's like, oh no, I need to do the strap and the belt loop. So there are several styles for the belt loop. I picked one that is kind of has the gun tilted forward a little bit. I like that carry style a little bit more than it being straight up and down. So I still need to, there's a couple things I need to do. I need to trim the felt, but I just finished this and it is contact cemented in, and I'm just letting it dry before I start trimming it. I also, the strap is too long. I'm going to have to fix that. I'm going to have to buy another snap. I unfortunately can't fix the one on the inside. It's a very tight snap. So this one, I have to make sure that this snap is the same. I can't reuse this. I'm going to have to cut it short. I'll talk about that here in just a second. So here's the finished product. Like I said, here are some of the tools I used. So this is the felt on the inside felt sheets. I'll put a link to this in the description. I'll also put a link to the kit obviously in the description. This is the dye I used. It is orange, but my wife calls it lava red, so it's kind of a reddy orange on the leather there. These are the tools that I used. So there we go, turn that one around. So this is what I used to use, the diamond pattern, just flipping this up and down, back and forth. This is the outline. Don't know if you can see that too well. I really like this little toothy design on there. Don't know what it's called. It has a number on there. It's Craft Tool F912L. This one, does it have a number on it? It is F941. I don't know if that means anything to anybody. There's that one. Let me do this one again because I don't know if the camera got it. Craft Tool F912L. And then these are the hole punches. So this is the main punch I used for the stitching holes, and it is a size 2. And I bought these separate because the punches, these tools are ones that I used as a kid. They're actually my dad's. I borrowed them from him. He did not have a punch this small. And then this is the punch I used for the snaps, and it is a 3.5, so 3.5. I don't know if that's millimeters or just the size, but there you go, 3.5. So I'll put a link to the punches in the description and a couple sets of tools that I like. What else I use? Obviously you have to wet the leather, so I just had a random microfiber cloth and a little Tupperware for water to wet the leather before stamping, and wet it in little sections. And here are the instructions. So this came like, how did this come? Like this. And I got super eager and I cut the pattern out before reading the instructions. I do not recommend doing that. I highly recommend making a note of the instructions, copying them down, something, or otherwise you're going to end up like me and cutting through your instructions. And I looked on their website and I did not find these instructions anywhere on their website. I mean, they're pretty straightforward, but there are a couple things in here I would have liked to have had better instructions for. It does come with a suggested pattern, which it shows on here on the shorter barreled gun. So like on a 4-inch or 3.5-inch barrel, stuff like that. It might work for a 5, but it looks like it's meant for a shorter barrel. And then what I did is I took this, the piece of leather comes pre-cut, all the leather is pre-cut. I just laid this down on the leather and then took something sharp and just poked all the holes for everything, and then used the punch to then punch those holes out. And it was pretty simple. Then this is the patterns it gives you for how to hold the holster or the belt loop. I picked this one that gives it a forward lean on your hip. And then the other things that I use is, after I dyed it, this is a finisher. It gives it a shine or sheen to the leather. Also it protects it from water. Doesn't make it waterproof, but it protects it from water a little bit. And I did 2 coats of this inside and out. And then contact cement, where you paint both sides of the thing that, or either side of the things that you're putting together, and then stick it together. And it seems to be holding really well. So you'll need those things. Another thing to consider picking up is a couple of extra needles. It comes with 1 needle, and the thread that you need, the thread is just barely long enough, but I broke my needle on literally the last stitch. So if you think of doing stuff like this, I'd pick up a couple more needles for sure, because they're very easy to break if you're being at all aggressive with them. I just had a pair of pliers and was pulling these through, and I gave it a little bit of a tug and went, and it just broke right off on the last stitch. So I had to get a needle from a different kit that was in with the stuff that I have. So, and then you'll need a wooden board to work on. You can see this is an old cutting board that had cracked in the dishwasher. You're not supposed to put these in the dishwasher, but somebody did. I won't name names. It's probably me, and it ruined the cutting board. So I decided to use it for this. And you'll poke holes in it, and you'll stain it, and you'll pound on it pretty hard. The other thing that you need, speaking of pounding, is a mallet. So this is the one I used. It's the one that I used 20 years ago, and so good enough for this job. So anyways, that's how it turned out. One of the instructions that I cut was this, the strap part. That's what I was talking about, wishing I had more instructions. So this, you're supposed to put the snap in at the end, so that way you can take your gun. This is true to size toy 1911. Put it in there, and then that is how much too long the strap is for me. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. I already have new snaps in my cart on Amazon. I'm gonna buy those and then install it. I just need to make sure that they're the correct size. So, but let me readjust my camera and we'll get a better look. It does push on the magazine of this, so the magazine falls out, but no big deal. It doesn't do it on the actual gun. But barrel's right there. I think it fits really nice, and I might not even need the strap because it is a nice tight fit in there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this toy gun in here overnight, let the contact cement finish setting up all the way, and then I will be trimming all the felt, and then I will be trimming this and getting a new snap in probably in the next couple of days. Tomorrow's Sunday, so it'll probably be Monday or Tuesday that comes in, and get that done, and then we'll have a nice carry for my 1911 that I made myself that I'm very happy with. Anyways, if you have any questions or comments, leave those down in the description. I'll do my best to answer those, and I hope you have an amazing day.